Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lana. And today I'm going to do the booktuber at the gym tag. And I'm going to actually work out while talking about the books. This will be a challenge because I don't have a lot of time to do this. I have to go to work after this. And I want to be actually speaking while I do the exercises. I'm going to modify some of the exercises that are given in the original tag just because I don't have weights with me. I'm outside. It's a very nice fall day. This is a gym that I don't go to, so I hope not to be kicked out. I'm a little scared, but let's try and get through this. So the book I decided to, this is already very hard. It's Dr. Zhivago. It took me a while to get through it. It's a very long book. I can't say that I enjoyed reading it, but by the end I felt like I understood what he was trying to say and why it was written, why it's considered a classic. To be honest, I don't remember exactly what that revelation was, but Dr. Zhivago is titled after the protagonist, Yuri Zhivago, who is a physician and a poet, and it's set in the beginning of the 20th century Russia, and I think I'm done with this question. Next one. I initially wanted to mention a book that I feel like would be hard for me to read, like A Little Life is something I skip because I don't think I can handle it, but instead I've decided to go for a book from my own TBR, and that is Delusions of Gender by Cordelia Fine. That is a book, it's a nonfiction book about how there's this myth that women's brains and men's brains are inherently different, and it's not true, and that because our brains are mutable and plastic, they are constantly influenced by what society tells us about our own gender and how it's supposed to look like and behave and all of that. So it's a very interesting book, and I know that because I actually started reading it. I think 2 years ago I started the audiobook for it, and it was very well written, it was very interesting, it was fascinating, but it's very hard for me to read nonfiction about feminism, not even nonfiction actually, just any type of feminism, because I get very anxious and very upset. It really makes me so mad and anxious, and I can't handle it, and I want to just download the information from the book into my brain without actually having to go through the process of reading it. Why am I out of breath? Okay. This is the toughest one yet. So the book I want to talk about is Your Body, Your Voice, and I don't think I can do this the whole time. And as a voice teacher, it's a book that's very as a voice teacher, it's a book that I'm very glad that I read. It talks about the anatomy of the voice, how we produce sound, how the larynx is of what muscles it's made up, how it works, how it's supposed to work. It does get repetitive a little by the end, so it took me a while to read, but I'm glad I read it. And the biggest takeaway is that the correct posture is really what makes all the difference when it comes to a healthy voice producing mechanism. I'm starting to regret this a little bit. Okay, so for this one, I want to go with Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier. It's a beautiful fantasy set in 10th century Ireland, and it reads more like a literary historical fiction with a little bit of Celtic magic. It's It's so gorgeous, but I struggled with the pace. It's definitely kind of slow, and also terrible things happen to our main character like all the time, and that was very hard, so it did feel like an endurance test reading it. The book is about Sorsha, who is one of the 7 children of Lord Cullum, and when he remarries the new like stepmother is like an evil sorceress, enchantress, I don't know the exact word for that, and she curses Sorsha's brothers, her 6 brothers, turns them into swans, and so the whole book is basically Sorsha's quest to free them of this curse, to save them, and for that she has to complete a task, and one of the like main conditions of the task is that she is not allowed to utter a single word before the task is complete. It's a great book. A lot of people love it. I also enjoyed it. I just feel like it's not necessarily for me in terms of how slow and torturous it was. Okay. This will be my version of Lat Rows because that's all I have here. I'm gonna choose the genre of non-fiction personal development. Books like Why We Sleep and the body book, life-changing magic of tidying up, stuff like that. I really enjoy these books because they sort of show me a healthier, happier, a more successful version of myself and give me actual like steps to get there. And I'm gonna stop here. As a mood reader, I read to escape, so I like plot and atmosphere and all of that, but if I feel like I can handle it, these kinds of nonfiction make me actually focus on my life and see what parts of it could be revamped, and yeah, they bring me a lot of joy. They're insects, apparently. Talk about Beartown by Frederick Backman. It was a very tough book for me. It talks about a small village in Sweden that is economically struggling. Things are not going well for them. The only thing that could bring them out of their misery is their hockey team, their youth hockey team. They have a great star player, and if they win the championship or whatever, everything can turn around for the whole town. But right before the big game, the daughter of the manager of the team accuses this star player of rape, and so the whole town is divided into two teams, whether they believe her or they support him, and it's obviously a very tough read because it deals with the repercussions of sexual violence, of rape, and as I mentioned, books that deal with sexism are tough for me. They make me very anxious and upset, and the second book in the series was not better in that. I didn't enjoy reading it. Obviously, I don't think I was supposed to enjoy the story, but it was beautifully written and great. It was greatly constructed. That's not the right word to say. But anyway, I'm out of breath. I don't have weights and I'm out of ideas for bicep curls, so I'm just gonna do another plank. I hope that's okay. I actually don't know what author could that possibly be because I don't really read a lot of books from the same authors. The only answer that I could come up with is probably Nicholas Sparks, but I don't regret reading him. I don't regret any book that I've ever read, and so I don't really know. This would be my answer, Nicholas Sparks. Maybe? I don't know. Ugh. So the first author is Anton Chekhov. I read him in school and growing up, but I haven't for a while, and definitely not after I completed my acting training, and I kind of want to revisit, because first of all, I remember nothing, and second of all, I wonder how it will read to me now, knowing, like, reading a play from an actor's perspective is different, and I wonder if it will feel different. And the other, I'm just gonna go with like all Bronte sisters, because I've only read Wuthering Heights, and I feel like that is a crime against literature. And I already bought Jane Eyre, and I want to get to it sometime soon, so that is in the works, and I feel like that counts for 3 authors, because 3 Bronte sisters and Chekhov, that makes 4. Anyway, that's it for today's tag. I'm late for work, so I have to run. I hope this was interesting for you. Let me know if you enjoyed this and if I should try something like this in the future, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!